put that in there. Is that correct? So I was looking at Jennifer because we talked ahead of time on that. But my thoughts are, and I kind of strayed off there.
Can I interject before we go into
Yes.
this conversation? Because one of the things that we talked about while putting this on the agenda is that we wanted to have direction from the city attorney as to what the rules around public comment are.
Yes.
And to my knowledge, we have not received any information, and she is not here to provide that presentation to us or the public.
So what I would like to do is give the framework of my thoughts there, and we could still go to we still have to go to the city.
Okay.
And, but just in general, because since I brought this, put this on the agenda.
Is Randy Larkin not able to speak to that?
I think
See,
Randy's
Did he
on.
have his-
Randy is there. Randy is
Is
there.
Randy here?
is
Yeah.
Randy?
Oh, sorry. I was looking for Tony.
Ask
My
him to unmute.
apologies.
Yeah. Who has a
This is Randy
comment?
Larkin, Deputy City Attorney. I found out about this agenda item just like 2 days ago. I don't know. I'm just here to answer questions, and if you're expecting or want a presentation from the city attorney's office, we can do that, but I don't know that we're prepared to do that today. But I can answer questions regarding procedures, First Amendment, things like that, but we do not have a presentation.
So what's the expectation? Are you able to speak, Randy, to what the expectation is around public comment for city boards?
This is Randy Larkin, Deputy City Attorney. There is a resolution of the City Commission that governs advisory boards, and the recommendation is that advisory boards should accept public comment. If you go back 10 years ago, it was very uncommon for advisory boards to accept a public comment, other than perhaps the Planning Commission, where they're dealing with property rights and due process things. That changed 4 or 5 years ago, and that was the direction of the City Commission at that time regarding that resolution. And it left it as should, so that there is some discretion. Some boards accept public comment on every item. Some boards accept public comment on some items, and some of the boards that we have don't accept public comment at all. So it's kind of a free range.
So Randy, my thoughts on public comment was, we have it at the start of the meeting, accepting public comment, and they could talk about the past meetings, things like that, but they're limited to, each individual is limited to 3 minutes. And then public comment at the end of the meeting, where the individuals can touch on all of the topics that we have discussed, where we're not going through each individual line item there. And I wanted to put that, put that thought out there of, if the board felt that that was something that we should adopt, and explain in our future meetings that this is how we're going to go forward. Would that be a problem there? So
This is Randy Larkin, Deputy City Attorney. That can absolutely be done. There's no requirement that public comment be received at boards. We do that so that we have public input, and that has been the recommendation. But there is no First Amendment requirement unless somebody has due process rights involving the particular matter coming up. There are lots of boards and city commissions and other places throughout the state that do not have public comment. The only thing that I recommend and always do, that if you're going to have a rule, you apply to everybody equally, so it's not based on content of speech or anything of that matter. So if you have a period of public comment at the beginning and a period of public comment at the end, that's perfectly legal under the Constitution.
and that's what I was thinking, that we'd give each individual the opportunity to discuss within that 3-minute time frame. But I think it would help the board go through the issues, as well as calming those that are getting a little agitated and certain statements or certain issues. They would still have public comment. I think the city of Lawrence and this board needs to hear from the community. But we can control it a little bit better or a little bit different. But I'd like to hear some viewpoint from the board members as well. Any thoughts?
My viewpoint, I just propose that for every policy change, we should have public comments. And I want us to be held accountable by the community. And to that extent, I am open to public comment. And it should be whenever. We want the public to engage with us, rather than just like we want the complaint process to be as easy as possible, we want the public to engage with us as easily as possible, as often as possible. So with that in view, I would say the procedure we've been using, and if we want to bring public comment after every item, I would stand for that.
Yeah, if I could, I agree with you, Sanjay. I think I find a lot of value in public comment on individual agenda items. And I know it adds time to our meetings, and time is a consideration. However, I think any steps we can take to reduce barriers between the public and communication with us and LPD, I think those are steps that we need to take. I feel, I think if time is our issue, maybe we need to be mindful about how many agenda items we have.
We bring.
But I have really valued the public comment we've received about our agenda items. And I think that, the citizens that engage with us have unique perspectives and unique, time to research and provide us with more information that we don't have, right? So, those are my thoughts.
Anyone else?
I agree with these folks.
Yeah, I agree with them too.
Okay, so we'll continue on in the same framework. 3 minutes,
Yeah.
is that fair? 3 minutes, public comment from me on each individual agenda item. And we go from there. And, we're running pretty good on time, so we're very good on time.